Namaskar. Hello, friends. There is more than the limited bodily identification. We water a plant at its root. However, the water nourishes not just the roots, but the whole tree, including the leaves right at the extreme top of the tree. That is the concept of big picture. We live our life with each of our actions from time to time appearing to be directed towards a limited objective. However, we should remember that each action has a bigger purpose in the Creator's scheme of things. Thus, the water of our karma that may be seemingly going to the roots, that is our limited selfish objective, it serves a much bigger purpose for the entire tree of the creation. For example, we give the best medical care to a sick loved one. The immediate and obvious objective is to save her life and bring her back to good health. But it also serves some more remote objectives as follows. Firstly, income for the medical staff, hospital, pharmaceutical and medical equipment manufacturers, etc. Secondly, an opportunity for us as also the sick relative to settle our respective past karmic debts. And thirdly, retained learning for the doctors and other staff by way of the particular experience of the case, which can be useful and helpful in the handling of future similar cases. The above objectives are of the kind that we can at least imagine if we apply our mind to it. But we should keep in mind that there may be some other objectives in a given situation that may not be visible or even imaginable in our wildest dreams. So just do your work that seems necessary in a given situation without questioning what's there in it for me. Does giving a bodily identity mean that the experiences of my bodily senses will not be felt? I don't think so. The body is a physical entity and it is subject to the physical laws governing it. Then what will non-identification with body mean? I feel non-identification with the body means the pains and pleasures experienced by the bodily senses do not cause any mental ups and downs whatsoever, neither happiness nor grief. So a pinprick will be felt as a pain at the physical level, but it will not cause the mind to go into any kind of chain of thoughts. That is, why it happened, how it happened, when will the pain go away, what should I do to prevent it in future, why did it have to happen to me, etc. Instead, non-identification with the body will mean I go on as if nothing has happened, except that if I need to apply a drop of antiseptic, I will do so and move on, even forgetting immediately that I had a pinprick. Something similar applies to pleasurable sensation too. If I eat some nice tasting food and if I am not identifying with my body, my mind will not think about that particular food and its taste. What was that food? How was it prepared? Etc. I may not want to get that pleasure again and again. I may not ask my wife to prepare it at home sometime later. I will immediately forget that I ate some food that tasted nice. I will not even bother about knowing what that food item was. Of course, having said that, the truly liberated souls may be so engrossed in the spirit that their sense experiences may not even register in their consciousness many a time. But whenever they do register, their response would be as described above. Let ego grow, not like a balloon, but what? Listen further. When we come into this world with a body, our ego identifies with our body only. There is no mind at birth. Mind starts developing gradually as a result of our conditioning by the environment, the happenings around us, and the experiences that our physical senses keep getting every living moment. As a result of this constant conditioning, our ego also starts identifying with more and more things. At birth, the newborn's ego has only one distinction: my body and not my body, and that too only subconsciously. As the child keeps seeing and experiencing the love and care by its parents, the ego encompasses them in addition to its body. So the child develops the concept of my parents and others. It is comfortable with the parents but not with an unknown person. This is how the expanded ego leads to more distinction between me and the others. This process continues, and the ego goes on including one's immediate family, the extended family, friends, acquaintances, community, village, city, state, country, humanity, and even all living beings. Most of us go through this ego expansion process to varying degrees due to our own individual makeup, as also due to the extent of exposure to the world that each one of us gets. The expansion of our ego, as described above, is like pumping in more and more air into a balloon. An ego that goes beyond one's own body to encompass more and more things may be considered to be getting nobler in a worldly sense, because it has concern for more and more things beyond its own physical personality. Therefore, more and more people start respecting you more and more due to this ego expansion. However, we still remain a balloon, howsoever large, with its separateness from the outer space and things in that outer space. A spiritual seeker should be wary of the ego expansion of the aforementioned kind. He should instead think of his ego as a salt crystal and simply throw it into the infinite ocean of all pervading universal consciousness. The salt crystal of his ego will gradually go on dissolving in the ocean water of universal consciousness. The salt that was earlier in the form of a crystal with its own separate limited identity apparently seems like reducing in physical size, but in fact it is simultaneously expanding in a spiritual sense as it merges with the ocean molecule by molecule to ultimately become the ocean itself. Balloon of ego can be deflated in two ways. There are two ways of deflating a balloon. One is we stop blowing air into it and leave the mouth of the balloon open so that the air will come out and the balloon will deflate completely in a short while. The other way is to go on blowing more and more air till finally the balloon can't take any more air and bursts. Deflating our ego also is possible in two similar ways. We can stop feeding praises to it. That is, even if someone praises us, we should ignore it and not let it inflate our ego. Also, we should allow the air that is already inside to escape. This can be done by critically examining what we have so far believed as our greatness or superiority. Try and analyze how realistic it is. Ask yourself whether that good which you achieved was all due to your own efforts alone. Check with a tooth comb if there were small and large contributions from others to your success. Invariably, you will find that the credit is not all yours. This way, you will be able to gradually deflate your ego. The other way is to go on expanding the ego more and more. For this, you will have to expand the definition of your ego from your own self to your immediate family, to your extended family, to your acquaintances, to your neighborhood, to your community, to your village, town, to your state, to your country, to the entire humanity, to all the to all the living beings, to the entire living, non-living creation. That is when the balloon of ego will burst and you will identify with the Creator. Choice is yours. I would think the first way is easier and faster, provided you have a strong desire for it and back it up with conscious effort. I will stop here today and see you the next time. Until then, bye, take care.